Today on the Hey, Why Don't You Stop Stealing My Work Says podcast, I'll be discussing why you should stop stealing my work and other stuff too, so go ahead and stick around. Let's start with a discussion about why this episode is titled, Hey, Stop Stealing My Work. It all stems from last week's episode number 404 of this podcast. On that episode, I discussed YouTube's announcement that they were extending shorts from 60 seconds up to 3 minutes. That's really it. Took me a long time to outline, took me a longer time to record, took me a decent amount of time to edit, and I spent way too much time on the thumbnail. That's because, just like every YouTuber, I stress way too much about the thumbnail because we have been told and we have witnessed that if you have a crappy thumbnail, nobody will click on your video, or very few people will click on your video. So I spent, I think, over an hour on the thumbnail. I came up with 3 different iterations of the thumbnail, and the one that I landed on is me holding up a phone that says 3-minute shorts, and in the background it says, why? I thought that was interesting enough, and I thought it conveyed what the episode was really going to focus on, so that's what I went with. One of the other thumbnails I will typically use for the clip of the main topic, and then one of them ends up just going to waste because the first one's always a throwaway. You're just trying to figure out what the heck you're doing, what a good concept is, what you should focus on. So the first one sucks, the second one sucks less, and the third one is slightly better than bad. At least that's what I have learned. Fast forward a couple of days and I am just scrolling along on Twitter, getting furious and hating the world. Politics, I'm so angry about everything. Culture wars, whatever. All the stuff that I'm outraged about. And what do I see? I see a quote tweet from Rene Ritchie, the man, the myth, the legend, from the YouTube Liaison Twitter account. No big deal, he quote tweets people a lot, but in the original post that he is responding to is my thumbnail image. So I get excited thinking, oh man, Rene Ritchie, YouTube Liaison, is reposting my video for some reason. What did I do? What is being said about me? I go check it out. Wrong. He has no idea who I am. He was not responding to me. What he was responding to was a Twitter post from somebody who we will discuss, and in that post, they just used my thumbnail. Now, on the surface, this isn't the biggest deal. It's not the end of the world or anything, but there's a very specific reason why it made me so angry. First off, I did not get any credit. No mention of where they got the thumbnail, no link to my podcast episode, no mention of my name or my Twitter account or anything. Again, not the biggest deal. But then, I called them out. Hey, this is my thumbnail art. Hey, no credit for the original artist? It has now been 4 days since that happened, and there have been no corrective actions taken. I do not expect them to delete their post or anything, but reply to it and say, here is the source of the original artwork. That was not done. The furthest it got was a response to me when I said, hey, no credit for the original art. Their excuse was, I just saw this floating around on Twitter, didn't know it was yours. If I may, I am calling bullcrap on that. I have not seen my thumbnail floating around on Twitter. I didn't even post the episode myself or the artwork myself on Twitter, which is maybe something I should resolve and start doing, but I didn't even post it. So I am calling bullcrap on that excuse. Oh, it's just floating around Twitter. I just grabbed it, whatever. Who cares about attribution? I'm just going to take whatever I want. Okay. What I think happened is they likely saw the announcement from YouTube, hey, longer shorts. They couldn't think of artwork to put on their post, so they likely went to Google and or YouTube and searched 3-minute YouTube shorts and just looked for artwork that they liked. and they grabbed my thumbnail and likely posted it there. But it gets better for me. Here's why I'm actually kind of mad about it. It's not that somebody stole my thumbnail. That's bound to happen. Videos get reposted, thumbnails get stolen and reposted without attribution. It's who did it. So back 20 episodes ago, on episode 388 of this show, I went on a rant. The rant was about why I believe that AI content is ruining YouTube. But in that episode, I also explain how I loathe these faceless YouTube channel advocates who talk just about finding popular topics and flooding the platform with nonsensical, garbage content as a way to get rich quick, to get a bunch of views, to get subscribers, and just keep churning. You can earn tens of thousands of dollars every single month. Well, the person who took my thumbnail without attribution is a faceless social media advocate. They just post about how to get rich quick on social media with faceless social media accounts, Twitter accounts, YouTube accounts. It's not, hey, if you're super passionate about this topic, you should make videos. You should make videos that add value. You should serve an audience and try to gain an audience that appreciates what you do because you feel this burning desire to make videos discussing this specific topic. Nay, that is not what they are doing. They are essentially saying, hey, let me engagement farm off of you, show you a screenshot of earning $20,000 a month, and then say, hey, leave a comment if you want me to give you 20 tips on how to get rich quick. So you get a bunch of responses on Twitter, and since you are, I believe they were verified, if I remember correctly, they likely monetize Twitter, and through that engagement, they get a lot of views, and then they will earn money on the ads that are shown on their posts. They are simply engagement farming people who are desperate to earn money. But not only are they doing that, which I think is kind of scummy. I don't loathe the idea of engagement farming. Everybody does it. Hey, leave a comment telling me about this. Or the most egregious one is, it will show a cabin in the woods. Hey, would you live here for a month with no internet and all the entertainment you want, all the food, all the water for $1 million? Are you an idiot? Are you an idiot? You're doing it because you want everybody to get furious at you for asking such a stupid question. That's the egregious one that kind of bothers me. I know that people will respond saying, yes, share 20 tips on how to get rich quick because I too want to get rich quick. So in a sense, that is engagement farming. But not only that, they are advocating for behavior that floods YouTube with bullcrap content that makes YouTube a worse place, that makes the content on YouTube less discoverable, less valuable, created by people who are not passionate, who do not care about what they are publishing. So F this dude. This dude sucks. That's why this bothers me so much. Something that I made is being used by somebody who, I guess 4 months ago, I came out and said, I do not like these kinds of people. They are ruining a platform that I have loved since 2005. Now, let me be clear. If someone used my thumbnail on another platform while crediting me, I could not care less. Even though I am a dirty, dirty capitalist pig, I don't care. I wouldn't want somebody taking my thumbnail and using it on a video on YouTube as well, because then that's going to confuse people. They won't know which one's mine. They won't click on mine. They'll click on somebody else's. So I don't like that. But if you're using my thumbnail on some other platform I don't use, I couldn't really care less. The reason this instance bothered me is because, first off, they did not credit me. Secondly, I dislike that after they were called out for using my artwork without accreditation or attribution or whatever, they still have not resolved that. They still have not credited me. And I loathe the fact that the person who stole this thumbnail is somebody who is advocating for the type of content that I believe is making the internet a significantly worse place. I will drive this home one more time. I will reiterate why I hate AI content and these faceless channels. The thing that I believe makes the internet and online content creators so interesting and so awesome is the fact that it is mainly independents. It is mainly people who are sitting at home and they think, I am so passionate about this. I love this topic. I need to start talking about it or I am going to lose my gosh darn mind. But then as far as the flood of AI and faceless content advocates, what they are doing is saying, hey, do you not care about this topic at all? Do you just care about the fact that this topic is really popular? Do you care about this topic having a high CPM ad rate? Well, let me show you how you can just create a bunch of bullcrap and publish it. Because you don't care about it. Who cares if any of the information is accurate? All you care about is that it gets views. Maybe it's just getting views because people hate you for publishing misleading data, but you're still getting views, and that means you're showing ads. And that means you're getting money. Because all that matters in this world is money. Money, money, money. Get on my level, you scrub. I am an AI faceless channel advocate. I earned $20,000 last month. Don't you want to do that, you stupid pores? That's how I interpret all these scumbags, and maybe I am idealistic because I have been uploading to YouTube since 2005, but I have always enjoyed the fact that YouTube consists of people, mostly, who just love doing what they're doing. They love a topic, so they want to share about it. They need to share about it. They need to talk about Terrifier 3 and all the crazy kills in it. You're not going to make a bunch of money. It's probably demonetized. You're not making a dime off of that. You just love the movie, and you love horror, and you love visual effects, so you want to talk about it. It's not, here's a list of 20 super high CPM topic areas and some tools to automatically AI... I'm beating a dead horse. This dude sucks. This dude sucks, and don't steal my work, dickhead. I'll throw a link to his tweet if you want to read it. Maybe he'll bring you over to his side. Go learn how to make faceless content. But I'll also throw a link to episode 388 of this podcast in case you want to hear me rant about exactly what I just ranted about. Let me talk about now what I have been testing. First off, I am on a new microphone. Well, it's been sitting on my shelf for years at this point. It must be 3 years. This is the Violet Amethyst. They describe this as classic warm sound we know from classic vintage microphones, cardioid. This has the VD67 capsule. Oh, the 67 capsule? I remember this is the same JZ Electronics. So Violet Mics was acquired by JZ Mics. The vintage 67, it had something funky in the treble and air. It is a very bright sound. And although I haven't listened back to recordings with this microphone yet, in my headphones, I hear a lot going on in the top end, and I may be jumping to conclusions, but if it has the VD67 capsule, also, I know it's probably Violet Designs, but VD, that's a very unfortunate name there. At least it's not VD69. But seeing that capsule name makes me think it's going to sound like the vintage 67, so we'll see about that. Next thing that I am testing is shorts. I didn't think I was doing enough work. I didn't think I had little enough free time, so I decided to start another channel. And this is a channel where I am just unapologetically spamming, just non-stop videos. I have heard for a long time, hey, you need to post 2 to 3 shorts a day, and then it'll do really well for you. I wanted to experiment with that, so I decided I am going to clip my review videos and publish them as shorts. Not shorts like we discussed last week, where I said I'll do a 3-minute video with all the tests, with all the mic comparisons. I wanted to... This is disgusting. I wanted to make as many shorts as I could. How many shorts do you think I could break a review down into? 5? That would be reasonable. 10? That maybe that's a bit much. 15? No. 17. I could break down my review videos into 17 individual shorts on the conservative side. Every single test, unboxing, walkthrough and build quality, polar pattern, pop filter, or plosive test, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, singing, shock reject. Every single test is its own short. And I thought about this while I was creating this outline. I could easily bump this up to 25 shorts per review because I actually think this would be helpful. Every single microphone comparison ought to be its own short. Violet, what is this? Violet Amethyst versus CAD E40. That would be its own short. Amethyst versus SM7B. Amethyst versus U87. Each of those would be its own short, and I do about 8 of those every single review, sometimes 10, so we're up to almost 27 videos, 27 shorts per review. I have not promoted this channel anywhere. I have only been doing it for 6 days. 6 days. 2 shorts a day. And I already, this is so stupid. I have 5,700 views already. That does not make any sense. It makes 0 sense. I must say, the like to dislike ratio is baffling. People hate these shorts. This is garbage. I'm looking at like 75% like to dislike ratio, which is terrible for me. I typically hover around 97 to 99 on my reviews. But in the shorts algo, yo, they hate me. One thing that will really bother me is if the shorts really start to pick up and it gets a lot of growth, because I would like that growth on my main channel. But I understand completely there is such a huge aversion to shorts that even posting 2 a week on that channel is a bit of a stretch. If I came out and said, I'm going to post 2 to 3 shorts a day, so I'm doing, what, 22 videos a week? I think people would be at my door with torches and pitchforks, and they would be burning down the windmill that I'm climbing up. It would be brutal. So that's something else that I'm testing. At one point, I will have thrown up the analytics for the first 6 days. Baffling. 5,700 views in 6 days? That doesn't make sense. On a completely fresh channel. No promo anywhere. Just purely algorithmically generated. Pure organic growth. I'm not going to share the channel title because I want to see how it grows organically. You could probably figure out what it's going to be called, though, based on my naming scheme and the fact that it's a channel dedicated to shorts. That's really what I've been testing. Let's jump to what you had to say. First comment comes from MEI Studio, New York. Pags! He says, my channel isn't and likely won't ever be as popular as yours, but perhaps you can try something that I did. Do the what's in the box or unboxing for the shorts instead of or in addition to having it in the long form. Then link the short to the long form video if that's possible. No major differences on the 3 mics. As I've said previously, with a single stationary subject, using a shotgun microphone indoors is not a problem. The problem here was the actual room, and no mic is going to fix that. Pags, thank you very much for the comment, and thank you for that suggestion. This is something that I had been doing on the Clipscastage channel. I was clipping a lot of the portions of the review videos and putting them out there. One flaw with that, you cannot link shorts to another channel's main video. So any views from those actual shorts on Clipscastage, they die there. There's no direction, there's no funnel to get those people who are interested to watch the full review, especially because finding the description on shorts is a nightmare. It is difficult for me, and I am a power YouTube user. You got to click on the 3 dots in the upper right corner, and then you got to go through about 50 billion options to find description or whatever, and then you could click on it, and then it'll show you what's down there. I hear people saying, oh, the links are all disabled, so you can't even click through on it. So it's kind of stupid of me to do that if the purpose is to grow views and engagement and subs on Podcastage, because there's no actionable item for somebody who's interested. But your suggestion made me think of something. It gave me an idea of something I could do. In a recent review, I got a comment from a blind listener to Podcastage, and they said, hey, I understand you don't want to read the specs out, but can you please do that, because it's really helpful for all of us blind listeners who want that info. I pointed out, hey, it is listed in the description, so it's there. And I don't know if I'm going to go back to including all of the specs. But what I could do, the reason why I don't want to include them again is because I really try to shorten the videos as much as possible. So what I could do, the idea I had based on your suggestion, is record myself reading out the specs as a short and publish that. That way, if somebody does want the specs read to them, that information is available. I don't know how they would get directed from the review to the short, but that's something I could do. All the spec data would remain in the description, so you could find it there as well. That's something that I thought of, and that would bump up the amount of shorts that I could publish on the second channel from 25 or 27 to 26 to 29. We're going to get to 30 shorts per review very soon. That's impressive. And I also, hang on. It's not the worst rejection. I had to include your thoughts on the shotgun microphone as well, because that's kind of the exact same collusion. This is all collusion. I am colluding with Pags to take down Big Shotgun. I came to the exact same, or I guess we're lifting up Big Shotgun. We're paid shills by Big Shotgun. I came to the exact same conclusion based on my tests with a static person talking into a single shotgun mic indoors. I didn't encounter the issues that I was told I would likely find. And last week's demos were just in the most abysmal situation. And as I mentioned, if you are recording in that kind of space, do something about it. You need to do something about that, because no mic is going to fix that. Spend less money on the mic and start treating the room. Get some moving blankets, do something, because in a reverb chamber, no mic is going to make it not reverb. It's going to pick it up. There's no solution other than treating the room. I am really excited, though, because also in the comments, Sound Speed said he's going to force me to be a boom operator and cue a microphone around so I could hear the issues that he encounters as a boom op. So I'm excited about that. That'll be fun. And I'm sure I will record that and include that in a podcast episode. Or maybe that should be on Podcastage. Who knows? I'm going to take a water break, and then we're going to go to Ice Cow Gamer's comment where they say something in regards to why YouTube would prioritize short-form video so heavily. The appeal for advertisers towards shorts is that Shotrts watchers in general are not critically watching the videos, are in the zombie consume state, and are more prone to the impulse of buy the Georagna, ill one musketeer, etc., AI, miracle growth powder, in between the cat video, dance video, drink ad, fish video, and the sensational did you know that 1,000 people die video. Second appeal vector is the serving of ads on the go, since vertical video is mobile video. As much as possible, all your time is monetized. Now the consumer gets your soda pop ad, not only on the couch chair, but also on WC, in water closet? Is that the toilet? In bed, or more importantly, on commute in front of the pop vending machine, or captive driving its car right before the gas station that sells the pop. And thirdly, YouTube has been vicious against ad removers. On mobile, the tech literacy is even lower than on static machines like PCs and Macs, hence almost 0% mobile ad remover usage, and they can market that point to the advertisers. Those have only been the 3 surface-level motives that popped into my head for the topic of why would YouTube prioritize short-form video so heavily. Ice Cow Gamer, thank you very much for the comment, and thank you for sharing your thoughts here. There's one huge drawback that I still see for YouTube Shorts in terms of advertising, and that comes down to the CPM. How much money YouTube earns for 1,000 views. YouTube ads on standard videos have a CPM that range from like $2 to $10. And that is kind of low in the online realm. If you start looking at podcasting CPMs for host-read ads, you're looking, I hear people quote $20 to $25. That's crazy, dude. If you saw $25 CPMs on YouTube, people would lose their mind. Every single person on YouTube would be rocking Rolexes, driving Ferraris, just living the high life in some mansion in Beverly Hills. But that ain't the case. When you look at shorts, people earn significantly less. So unless YouTube is just taking 99% of the ad revenue and saying, nope, no, it's the same cut, it's just we get a lot less money. Unless that's the case, the money earned by the content creator, the video creator, and YouTube is significantly lower than the standard video. So I don't see the direct monetary motivation for YouTube to go that route, even if advertisers do love it, unless YouTube is doing package deals. And that's why the ad rates are so low on shorts, saying, hey, we have a captive audience. They are in the zombie purchase state, impulse buy whatever, while they're on the can at the gas station buying your Monster energy drinks or whatever. We'll give you a good rate on that. But give us a good rate, you will give us more money for standard video ads. Maybe they're doing that. But I think what it really comes down to is trying to maintain relevancy. Because starting around 2020, 2021, no, it must have been 2020 because Donald Trump was talking about banning TikTok. Or was it even 2019? Regardless, there was a lot of talk about how popular TikTok was becoming with its short-form content, short-form videos, how addicting it is, how the user base was growing exponentially. So I think that's really the motivation for them to get into it. But as far as a business move, they would need to find some way to make it more monetizable. They need to have a more direct way from driving people from this low revenue video format, shorts, to long form video, which earns them significantly more money. I think that's what it really comes down to. But as far as the business plan, business motivations, I don't know what it is. It's kind of that early 2000s. It seems like it's that early 2000s social media app mindset. Get the users, we'll monetize them later. Who cares about burning billions of dollars? We need the users. We need the eyeballs. Then we'll monetize it. Like MySpace, Facebook, whatever. So thank you very much for your thoughts, Ice Cow Gamer. Next, we have a comment from Kevin R. He says, I'm thinking their obsession with shorts is head-on competition with the other platforms that focus on short videos. I'm wondering also if they intend to dump an ad on the beginning and end of each short. That would give them a lot of ads. If they pass the creator less of that income, then boom, more money in YouTube's own pockets. Kevin, thank you very much for the comment. I really appreciate it. I think you're exactly right with the motivation for maintaining that competition with TikTok and Instagram Shorts. As far as the amount of ads on the Shorts feed, I don't know what it currently sits at because I use YouTube Premium. That's one of the last subscriptions I have, so I don't see them. I can't imagine them getting away with having an ad at the start and at the end of every single video. People would lose their damn minds. They would freak out, man. I am freaking out, man. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. She can sue me. She can sue me. No, it's not her. It's not your water. It's God's water, man. I have no idea why I do that, but as soon as some movie reference pops into my head, it needs to come out immediately, or I will I will actually explode. And some of you will know what that movie reference was, especially Car Ramrod, if he still watches this podcast or not. Listens to this podcast, because it is a podcast. Do you hear me? Say Car Ramrod. Say Car Ramrod. Oh, I forgot. I am an idiot. I don't think that YouTube could get away with that many ads. They may want to. I know they have been testing adding more ads to the regular videos and longer ads to regular videos for the unpaid user. And there's a lot of anger around it. I still get comments on my clipped video about 60-second unskippable ads. People furious. What the heck? They just did a 2-minute unskippable ad. I still get people super pissed about that. They're pushing it. They're pushing it further and further to see where's the line. At what point will people just pull the ripcord and abandon ship? Was that a good metaphor? I don't know. Is there a ripcord and jumping ship? I think you're right there, yeah, but I don't think they can do that many ads. And lastly, we have a comment from Fred Overflow, and he says, "Oh, the U87 again. Now I wonder if anyone has ever made the Blue Yeti mistake by speaking into the top of it. What would that sound like?" Let me go ahead and shut off one of these lights so I look a little bit more ominous, because what I am doing right now is an evil, evil thing. What you are hearing is the Neumann, hello Neumann, U87 Ai. It is on the cardioid polar pattern, no pad, no filters. Yet I am not talking into the side of it, which is what you ought to be doing because it is a side address microphone. Instead, I am talking into the end of it like it is an end address broadcast dynamic, like it's an SM7B. Yep, and I am sure that I am sorry, George Neumann, for doing this. This is my I am so sorry. But I got a comment asking me to try this out, so I wanted to try it out so you can hear what your U87 AI should never sound like. And here's how it sounds talking into the correct side of the U87 AI. Just so you know, in case you didn't know, side address microphone, and here's the way it should sound. that is it for what you had to say. Now we are jumping to the value for value section because this is a V for V podcast. I stole this method or format from the No Agenda podcast, and what this means is I do not put any of this show behind a paywall. I do not put ads on it. I just throw the show out there, and if you get any value out of it, I ask you return that in whatever way you can, whether it's time, talent, or treasure. I do want to make 2 notes here. First off, if you don't have the ability to, or you don't want to send me money, feel free to share this with a friend. That is the only way this show actually grows, because talking for 40 minutes about a dozen different topics does not do well in the YouTube algorithm. So just share it with a friend who may enjoy it and may get value out of it. Secondly, I was commenting to Dave Jackson in a live stream, and he said, "Why don't you have any way to donate to your show other than YouTube?" So I went ahead and I realized I do have the tools to do so, I just had not set them up. So I have this set up as an experiment. Podcastage.com/support. If you go there, there is a support button, and you should be able to do a drag and drop and say whether it's for Podcastage or the BSP, and there's an area for a note. So if you want to donate that way, could be interesting. The fees are a lot lower. It's 2 or 3% plus 30 cents. So if you're donating like $1, it's about the same. So you can do that over on YouTube, and same amount of money is going to come my way. But over that, it would be significantly less because the cut on YouTube is 70-30. I get 70, YouTube gets 30. So those are the 2 notes. We have €50 from the benefactor of the BSP, the BBSP, from TechMed, Raina Richter. And he says, "Danke, lights on." Raina, thank you very much for the €50. Thank you for the support. And because of your €50, I turned the lights back on. As I mentioned last week, I am sure there are many a folk who are like, "Gosh, please shut off the video. Please shut off the lights. Just let us look at the pretty lights in the background. It's so much nicer to look at than your ugly mug." But because Raina is so generous, the lights are on, and you must suffer. You must suffer looking at this. Take that. I just realized an hour into recording that I did not pull the Ask Bandrew. I am so sorry, Sean. I will do that next week. My deepest and sincerest apologies. Now I am going to restart the cameras, and we're going to jump to a fun section. Now let's jump to the weekly recommendation algorithm, and the recommendation this week is Terrifier 1 through 3. It is no secret that I am a degenerate horror fan, and there has been a severe lack of good slashers over the last 10 or so years. In the 70s and 80s, we got so many good slashers. We had Michael Myers. We had Jason Voorhees. Don't comment, I know Jason Voorhees is not in the original Friday the 13th. We had Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street. These are all classics. These are all staples. We had a bit of a dry spell. And then in the 90s, we got a couple really good ones. We got Ghostface from Scream. And I don't have the physical copy, but I still know, or I know what you did last summer. That was, I don't know what that character's name is. Just Fishman? Fishhookman? I'll call him. That was a good slasher movie. We had a couple of one-offs that I enjoyed quite a bit in the 90s and early 2000s. We had Valentine and Cherry Falls, but there wasn't anything that really caught on after about 2000. We had a couple of series, we had a couple of recurring slashers, but they didn't make their way into the cultural zeitgeist, really. What I'm thinking of is Jeepers Creepers, the first one with Justin Long. Man, Justin Long he's like a Scream King. with Jeepers Creepers and Drag Me to Hell. I'm waiting for the Drag Me to Hell 4K UHD. Pre-ordered that one because that movie's so good. But Jeepers Creepers, that's a good kind of recurring. Would you classify him as a slasher? Probably. And then we had Victor Crowley in the Hatchet series from Adam Green. And yeah, I have a signed DVD from Adam Green because I was a big fan of his podcast. And I even have a VHS of the Victor Crowley movie, that's fun. But for a while, we didn't have any, that's a lot of dust. We didn't have any slashers that really caught on and made their way into that cultural zeitgeist, really make their impact on society. Maybe that's not a good thing, or that is a good thing. But Art the Clown in Terrifier really seems to have caught on, and it is so awesome. It is so fun. And the reason I'm recommending this is this weekend, Terrifier 3 came out in theaters. To lead up to that, I revisited all of Damien Leone's movies. I did All Hallows Eve, which was the introduction to Art the Clown in a feature-length film. It was made up of 3 short films, 2 of which were older. But I watched that. I watched All Hallows Eve 2, which does not have Art the Clown. Still a good compendium, still a good anthology horror movie. And then Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2. Terrifier 1 still has one of the worst kills in any movie I have ever seen. If you have seen it, it's the hacksaw scene. You knew. It's just awful. It is so bad. But the thing that I think works so well about Art the Clown is, yes, he's evil. Yes, he is gruesome. Yes, he is unrelenting. But he can go from making you belly laugh because he is so funny to actually making you feel sick because he then goes into some of the most gruesome, disgusting, sickening, repulsive kill scenes that have ever been put on film. And when I was watching Terrifier 3 last night, I was thinking, how is this in theaters? I was amazed that it was in theaters, and it was a packed movie theater. Nobody walked out. Nobody fainted in my theater. I have seen some videos where people are saying, yeah, people actually fainted and cracked their head open in their theater. It's an unrated movie. I don't think I've ever seen an unrated movie in a theater. So the fact that it got into theaters is absolutely insane. So my recommendation is, if you are a horror movie fan, if you like slashers, and if you do not have a weak stomach, go check out Terrifier 3 in the theaters because, my gosh, it was so much fun with an audience, just hearing everybody laugh at all these different parts and then gasps and just hearing people groan in disgust. It was hilarious. I do want to say something. During the rewatch of Terrifier 1 and 2, Terrifier 1, it's amazing what that team did on such a low budget. Terrifier 2, this had a $250,000 budget. I don't know how they made it look so good, how the graphic effects, how the actual physical, practical effects looked so good, how the sound was so good, how the music, I don't know how they did it. They had $2 million for the new one. Really shows. It is so good. But the first time I saw Terrifier 2, I thought, the first one, that was, yeah, it's gruesome kills and all, but on Terrifier 2, they kind of hung on some kills a bit longer than you really want. And I left thinking, this is kind of getting into the territory of being mean-spirited, like just wanting to watch somebody suffer. But when I rewatched it, I enjoyed it a lot more because all the story surrounding those gruesome scenes is so engaging It's so interesting, and I cannot wait to see where these characters go. What's their backstory? What are their motivations? Why are they the way that they are? Why are they experiencing what they're experiencing? So upon rewatch of Terrifier 2, I really enjoyed it. Still absolutely, let me reiterate this, disgusting movie. If you cannot handle gore, do not watch these. Because this is full on buckets and buckets and buckets of blood with actual practical effects that would make Tom Savini blush. Greg Nicotero would blush. So that's my recommendation this week. Terrifier 3 in theaters. Terrifier 1 and 2 as well. All Hallows Eve 1 and 2 as well. Or just go down the slasher rabbit hole. I pulled out a bunch of them and they're all good. Scream is still one of my all-time favorites because that is so self-aware and meta. It's kind of scary, but it's also hilarious, and it works really well. All of the sequels are fine, but nothing holds up to that original Scream. And then if you go back to the classics, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, all of them, you can't go wrong. And check out Adam Green. I'm just throwing out all these horror This is the weekly recommendation wound-up. Adam Green's Hatchet, another really fun one, so check that out. All right, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Bandrew Says podcast. Thank you for coming by. I really do appreciate you. I understand that you could do anything with your time. You could be watching disgusting horror films that are full of gore and blood and guts and buckets of blood. But you are spending some time with me, and I try not to squander that, and I appreciate it deeply. So thank you for coming by. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next Sunday, I will be back. I will be talking at you, with you, about you. Probably not about disgusting movies again, but I love you. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Whoa, whoa, boop.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer is Bandrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.